An honest matter. What do you need? Ah, right. See, the problem with Excalibur, or indeed any of King Arthur's blades, is that you need to prove you're worthy of wielding it. How are you supposed to do that? Hell knows. But if the pin that secured your entry to the horns has led you here, I think I know what the one who gave it to you might have been thinking. You see, there are many different legends. According to one of them, there are a few places on Avalon where you can prove yourself worthy, whatever that means. And one of those places, as you can probably guess, is nearby. Have you seen the old gong in the sunken village? Well, many years ago, when people still went to the woods for a shit instead of using a privy, it was part of a certain ritual. Only the people who passed the ritual could become keepers. Well, none of the living keepers were recruited that way, so we don't really know what happens during the ritual. That's why Galahad now appoints keepers and the captain chooses them. It's just safer that way. I only know that you need to sound the gong and then lie down to sleep at its base. If you wake up, when you wake up again in the morning, you'll know you've been deemed worthy. Unfortunately, the gong is broken, so first, you'll need to find a way to fix it. And since it's made of weird steel, that's not going to be easy, is it? Fortunately, Oshbrit should be able to help you. A little bird told me he likes to play with weird steel when nobody's looking. Just tell him I sent you, and he won't give you any trouble. Well, I'm not going to lie. From what I've heard, many people never woke up. They fell into eternal slumber, so... well, that's why we abandoned the tradition. And those who woke up were... changed. And none of them ever wanted to say exactly what happened there. Well, of course they tried. It turns out that the keepers who passed the ritual could hold it longer than anyone else. Maybe it'll be enough for what you need, and maybe something entirely different will happen. It's your risk and your decision. Then you'll have to find someone smarter than me, because I already told you everything I know. Go, and may the southern wind be in your favor. If you need anything from the old captain, you know where to find me.
Nothing bad happens today. Radeon's back, and with the Dalrita, no less. Bold move. Let's hope he knows what he's doing, or the keep's going to be in for one hell of a mess.
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe.
Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it. Sometimes it's nice to just sit and think. How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment.
Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
I have nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it, but I'm guessing that wouldn't work.
Disturb my peace. You made an oath never to summon me again. Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you. my friend.
And you, mortal, you have given yourself to the king's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
You actually went through with it, huh? Can't say I understand why anyone would willingly take on that mess, but if that's what you want, who am I to argue? Now, as tradition dictates, you have to kneel and I have to recite some words. In shadows and mud we slog. In burden and boredom we suffer. We guard the clueless, fix the hopeless, and carry the weight because nobody bloody else will. We're the lantern running out of oil, the lighthouse no one bothers to look at, the rope that snaps when you need it most, the hands that shield, mostly from our own bad decisions. By this joke of tradition, you are bound. By this nonsense, you are trapped. There, you're a keeper now. You can pick up your meals from Ruark at 6 a.m. We start training at 7 a.m. You sleep in the barracks. I'm joking. I know you won't stay here, but if you're up for some work, let me know. While we've been bickering about politics and playing at diplomacy, the bandits and every other kind of scum have been crawling out of the woodwork. Turns out chaos is a great breeding ground for parasites. I'd greatly appreciate it if you helped clean them out so we can get back the terrain we've lost.
am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom. For Avalon, you dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've got no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tintagel wouldn't hold, not forever. That the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, at our very bones, until nothing human remained. But he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land. And in the end, the land swallowed him whole anyway. We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth, our last push before the weirdness took the field. Merlin was with us, bleeding, exhausted, but still weaving his spells. Then it came. Not a beast, not a man, not something we ever had words for. A shadow, wearing 1,000 torn banners, moving like it had no shape of its own. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name I didn't recognize. And then he was gone. Not killed, not struck down, just gone. Like the land itself had taken him back. Yes, it seems we knew each other well during the war. And this proves that I sought allies beyond our own forces. And I trusted him enough to carry the knowledge of Excalibur. This must count for something. Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to. Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled. If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. Call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them, wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped, the banners were raised, and the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
You've got that look again, like you've seen something you wish you hadn't. Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? Merlin. Ah, Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea, immortality. Me and Seawall, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster. Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win, and desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar, even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? Fight back. Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done. The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos. All of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do. Of course he'd say that. There's always a scapegoat and a convenient excuse for men like him. But it doesn't absolve him. Not when he was the one who unleashed this madness on all of us. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want something that badly, you stop looking too closely at what's being done in your name. And, after all, who said we were supposed to win this war? Who said we were supposed to survive? You've seen what they did, what he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this. Once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you. Start. You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The menhir there is failing, the weirdness swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest, a voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield, and then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
There's nothing for you here, Wanderer. The doors are closed. And if I couldn't open them, you won't either. Tyrannus of the Thoid tribe, Dalriata. And you? Likewise. Great minds think alike, and apparently they're drawn to the same places. If you're set on going further, you'll need every bit of life force you have. A curse for killing a member of the Thoid tribe could take half of it. Many have tried. I thought I was worthy, but I keep failing. I've been camped here for 3 moons. There's no life for me outside this cave. If I can't get through, this is where my story ends. This is my destiny, one I chose for myself. I'll either get through or die trying. But my strength is fading. This isn't how I wanted it to end. It is death and magic. It draws its power from the ancient mist. Of those who went hunting for it, only a scant few ever returned to their tribes. Look for the mist, and in the mist for antlers and an evil eye. They say its feet don't touch the ground, though those are the words of the madman who somehow survived an encounter with it. We call them the Mist Bearers. Everyone from Thoid wants to face one of those wraiths, and I'd love to get my hands on one of their corpses. Those are priceless and can be used for strong magic. If you manage to slay the Mist Bearer, I'll pay you in gold for everything you bring back. At least I'll get something out of this pointless mission. Then maybe I'll invite you to further collaboration. Return alive and you'll find out. Good luck, Wanderer. May fate be kinder to you than it has been to me. Aye, you did it. Impressed. I wish I'd been the one to face the Mistbearer, but I bow to the one who managed to slay it. Excellent. And here's your reward. Yes, I did. With your courage, you've proven yourself a worthy candidate for the ranks of the Alchemists Guild. And to be honest, it's been a long time since I've felt this confident about a new guild member. So, if you're interested, I might have a few assignments for you. What do you say? Our guild was indeed formed in Camelot, but we fled from there long ago. The Thoid tribe is the only one that doesn't fear magic. The guild saw my potential and invited me into its ranks. What does it matter what he thinks? He has his mission, the tribes have theirs, and I have mine. History is unfolding elsewhere, and the guild intends to secure a place in the front row. It doesn't matter who rules the south. The fate of all Avalon is at stake. If people wish to kill each other in the meantime, the guild won't stand in their way. We have a valuable member, a researcher of the weirdness named Eckhart from Connacht. A very wise man. I have my own mission to complete, so finding out why he hasn't contacted us falls to you. I'll mark his workshop on your map. If something unfortunate has happened to him, at the very least, recover his research. Let's meet at the statue of the Morning Harpist in Connacht.